Tell Me Why. It's our show on 4 States Plus where we have young people from grade schools, sometimes middle schools, asking questions to the professionals, to the experts all around the country. And we have Corporal Cheyenne Dunn, right here, and Mark Rainey, who are school resource officers, SROs, from the Parsons, Kansas district. My hometown. I grew up in Parsons. You may have heard some stories about me. Put those in the shredder. That was a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has gone by.
Okay.
But you guys, what do you do every day as part of your jobs? And then once we understand that, we're going to start to answer questions from some of the Parsons school people. So let's start with you, Cheyenne. What do you do every day? First thing you do when you wake up after breakfast and watching KSN's morning show?
Well, we clock in, we go to work, we go visit all of our students. We like to greet them at the door when they get there in the mornings. And we just go from there.
So you generally stay in the same school, at least when the day starts. Is that true? Not always.
No, sometimes we just like to jump around and visit all the buildings so everybody gets to see us.
Okay.
But we have set offices and set buildings, yes, but we like to go to all of them.
Okay. And first thing that you do?
Again, go through the administrative routine of a morning, clocking in, reading the desk book, making sure.
What's the desk book?
So the desk book's just information from the overnight and the weekend shifts, and we take a look at those to see if we've had any engagements with any of our youth that we're aware of and that we can interact with, or kind of help understand what we might be looking towards. Somebody had a house fire, something along those lines, and they may be displaced for the day, that weekend, whatever the case might be. If they're at school, they might just need a little bit of
TLC.
A little TLC, yeah. It's a good way to describe it. So beyond that, we'll get down to the school, like she said. At the middle school, we have a big assembly, and we
every day.
Every day, the principal there does an assembly, and we try and get to that in the morning, get through all the things that's going to take place that day. Last week we did standardized testing, so you kind of get the mental wherewithal of what the kids are doing. So you get kind of an idea of how to interact with them that day.
That sounds great. Is breakfast important? This is my question, none of the kids. But you have breakfast. Do you have breakfast?
I do,
every
morning.
What do you have?
I have overnight oats.
Overnight oats?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oatmeal man.
Yeah, every morning.
Right there. I like oatmeal. And you have?
Chaos. I like yogurt, but sometimes,
good.
I just
But
anything.
it doesn't matter. You can move from yogurt to one day. Are you a
Yeah,
Honey Nut
cereal.
Cheerio person?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Sometimes.
Okay.
I do like Lucky Charms. You got to fit in with
Charms
the kids.
are good.
Yeah.
What about pancakes?
Yeah, but that's just a lot of work in the morning.
It is.
Yeah.
Maybe you could get him to make you some pancakes. Just a thought here. All right, I think we've talked about breakfast enough. Let's get some questions answered from some of the Parsons school kids. Here's one now.
Hey, my name's Adrian, and I'm 8 years old. What is the hardest part as a cop's job?
Fantastic question from Adrian. What are the hardest parts of your job? What is it that's hard about your jobs as police officers?
I think the hardest part sometimes is we have to help people on the hardest days of their life. And they could be in a very scary situation, a very sad situation, all of the above. And those days are sometimes a little challenging for us as well.
That is interesting, and it was totally different from what I thought I was going to hear.
Yeah.
But explain what you mean by having to help people on the hardest days of their lives. We don't think of it quite like that, we people who are not police officers.
Well, whenever you call 911, do you call 911 for big emergencies, scary things?
Yes.
Yes, so those are big scary things for some people, and especially for children. When children see, maybe they saw something that was really scary, or they were there and involved it, and then that's kind of all of that.
So I think a lot of people also, they don't think that kids are picking up the phone and dialing 911, but do you get multiple 911 calls in? Are a lot of those from children? Some are.
I wouldn't say a lot, but there has been, yes. There's one call specifically I've been to. I believe he was 8, and he called 911 because he watched a motorcycle crash in front of his house, and he did so good. He was able to tell us the address, and so we were able to get there. He was able to give us a description of the man that was on the ground, man, female, whichever. They gave us a description of the bike, and we ended up having rendering aid, and he did great. It was really great.
So how do you think he knew at 8 years old how to do the right thing so quickly and so efficiently?
They teach that in school. They teach you that stuff now and what to call and what to call for, and but also great parenting on teaching them what phone numbers to call, parent phone numbers, what is an emergency, and all those things.
This makes me think that we live in a safer time right now than we've ever lived, because when I was in school, I don't think 911 existed when I was in school. Well, I mean, the numbers existed, but getting a police officer to answer after you called the numbers, it makes me feel like we worry a lot about our kids, but maybe they're a little bit safer than we think they are, and they certainly are smarter than we think they are. Officer, how about you? Hardest part of your job?
It's got to be that. I mean, it's got to be the challenges of showing up and someone losing a loved one through a traffic accident, through a medical emergency, through a number of different things, and the people that are around them that are impacted, you know. So it's just an ordinary day for us. I mean, I know that sounds a little bit, you know, cliche, but it's a day for us, and we're going through the process. But the challenge of it is getting through that strong enough so that you can provide that support and care to those families and people that are around the incident.
How are you trained as officers to know what to do in that situation where there's been a terrible thing happen, a traffic accident, or something worse? How do you know what the right things to say are? Is it training? Do you go through that training? Or is this just being a person, being a good, loving person?
It's definitely being a person, but it's also a learning curve.
Yeah.
There will be times when you won't say the right thing, and someone's going to tell you that you didn't say the right thing, and then you learn from it, and that's okay. Yeah.
That's fascinating. All right, we've got a great answer there, and we've got more great questions. Let's hear one.
What do you have to learn?
Be a cop.
Anthony, who sounds like he's going to be one of these people in the future, he's 8 years old, and he wants to know, what does it take to be a cop? Is cop okay? Where'd that come from? Is it cool that we call you cops, or would you rather we didn't?
That's fine. I've been called worse.
Okay.
So
I'm going to leave it at cop.
The cop term comes from the British, and what it stands for is constable on patrol.
Really? I
Yeah,
thought maybe
it's
it was
actually
like
an
there was
acronym.
copper in your badge. I didn't know.
No, it's actually an acronym it's constable on patrol.
Constable on patrol.
Yeah. So and that dates back early 1800s.
You learn so much by watching cable television.
Yeah. Right.
Television on CTV like this. So what do you have to know if you're going to be a functioning police officer?
Well, what we learn is, I think the biggest thing is the foundations of our Constitution and the law. That's probably the number one thing. But I would say to speak kindly, have empathy, be just in everything that you do, look for opportunities to engage with the community, to better yourself in the way in which you know the community, which lends itself to treating the community better. When you have an opportunity to interact with the different generations, the different ages, whether it's a civic society, a civic organization, or the schools, or just on your own on a traffic stop, being kind is one of the things. You have to be firm sometimes. There's some other things in there. For the kids, I would say learn to write, learn to read. There's a lot of reading, a lot of writing that goes into what we do.
Your job.
Absolutely. Everything, just going to school is the two primary things that I think that we do that's administratively responsible is writing good reports that substantiate the incident that took place. So when we look at that and you're writing good reports, that translates to good court. So if
Good court?
good court, meaning good testimony, your ability to be both honest and forthright in that courtroom setting is because you've written a good report. You've been able to organize it in a way that makes sense. You're able to articulate the incident that takes place, not just a generalized statement. So reading and writing, I think, is the number one thing that we take on, and I encourage the kids that want to be police officers to think about that quite a bit. There's a lot of reading and a lot of writing.
That's fascinating. This is something, again, that I don't think a lot of people realize, how much reading and writing is involved. Do you enjoy that part of your job?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Some days not
Nice.
as much. Yeah. Yeah. And we do have an FTO period, which is field training officers, where we.
Explain what that means.
So whenever we get out of police academy, so they do send us off up to school for 14 weeks. We come home on the weekends. We go there, we learn all sorts of things for 14 weeks, and then we come back, and then we do 8, sometimes longer weeks with our field training officers, so they can teach us what happens in Parsons, and they can teach us how their policies work and how all of it goes together.
Okay.
And learning the people, learning the streets, all that stuff.
Sure. And you've learned all of these things. You're a police officer. What is it like the first week in a new town? I'm just throwing this in because I'm fascinated, and it kind of rolls off of the back of the last question. What was it like as a police officer first time in Parsons, Kansas?
Well, so of course I grew up in Altamont.
So you know a little bit about
So I knew a
Parsons.
little bit about.
Yeah.
I thought I knew the streets of Parsons.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. And when I became a police officer, I realized there's a lot of nooks and crannies I'd never been in.
Right.
That I was always on the main thoroughfares and had the ability to get in and out of town and things like that. But there are a lot of nooks and crannies and great communities that end on cul-de-sacs and tree-lined streets, old houses. I mean, just absolutely fascinating stuff that I'd never seen when I was a kid.
And you're like, where did this come
Yeah. So and I did that a lot in my first week, and I'm somewhat geospatially challenged anyhow. Meaning I don't know which way's east and which way's west.
Oh,
and so,
we need Shelby in on this one. Shelby and I both have those problems, so we're right in there. How about you?
It was chaos.
Okay.
It was a lot. It's a lot. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, but you figure it out.
And you slowly learn. Everything's a learning curve, right?
Absolutely.
And
We're still learning every day now. There's things that
that's-
we'll do today that I've never done before in the last almost 8 years. So
That's
that
great to
happens.
hear, because sometimes you meet people in whatever business that you're in and they think they know everything. And I think those
Yes.
people have a lot to learn, don't they?
Yeah.
Literally.
Sure.
well, I'd encourage the kids, if you're in a room where you're the smartest person, you need a new room.
Oh, I like that. That's words to live by.
Absolutely.
All right, we've got more great questions to live by, and here's one now.
Hello, my name is Keeman and I'm 7 years old. Is it really that dangerous to be a cop?
7-year-olds are so smart. Cayman asked that question. What is dangerous about being a police officer?
Anything routine can turn into being something dangerous. Sometimes it is a dangerous job, but we have lots of training that prepares us for it, and we work off that. And we also have a lot of teamwork that goes involved, so to make it a little bit of a safer environment.
Okay, when you say anything routine can turn dangerous, give us
Good
an
question.
example.
Say you're just going to the convenience store and all of a sudden that turns into something more. If you walked in on something that was happening, maybe there's a fight that breaks out while you're there, anything like that can turn into a bad situation.
And has that happened while you guys were on shift? Anything like that ever happen?
Sure, there's sometimes or whenever you're just walking into Walmart because you want to buy lunch for the day and then someone's stealing and you're walked right in on it. I mean, things like that happen. Not saying that could be dangerous,
Right.
but not saying that it was at the time. But yeah,
Is it true
anything
that
can
almost anything can become dangerous?
absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a police officer, anything.
So how do you prepare for constantly maybe walking into something that could be dangerous to you?
We have to make sure that we're alert and paying attention all the time. I think it's kind of hard for people that have become police officers to turn that off, but we constantly have to pay attention to our surroundings. It's just, that's how we're trained. We're trained from that from day one to pay attention to everything.
Sure.
Every detail matters.
So, have you ever found yourself in what you would describe as a dangerous situation? And if so, what did you do?
You rely on your training. I think that's the number one thing is you progress based upon the circumstances that's taking place. You progress to keep yourself, in particular, yourself safe, and then the others around you safe as well. The training that we get is kind of I would say that it's kind of a building block approach to everything that we do. We go from hands-on, we go to our less than lethal tools, and then less than lethal tools, and then we go to our lethal tools. But really, she talked about it mainly. It's vigilance. If you can't be vigilant during your shift, you're going to possibly hurt yourself or put other people in danger, to include the community or even other officers. As far as an example would be, just recently I was on a welfare check, forgot to turn my radio on. Our dispatchers check on us periodically, and if you don't respond to that dispatcher pushes officers to your position to ensure your safety. So your team is there for you.
So the dispatcher couldn't get in touch with you?
Yeah, so our dispatchers check on us. They do a safety check with us on a regular basis. Even in the smallest of cases, there's opportunities for them, traffic stops, welfare checks, taking a theft report at the Dollar General. Any of those things, they're going to check on us and make sure we're still safe because no one's there with us typically. We talked about that before. In this opportunity, if you don't reply, there's a backup safety switch there, which our dispatchers activate, and they will send other officers to your location to check on you.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different checks and balances in place. Our training and our communications are number one and our number two.
When you are in a dangerous situation, I know it probably doesn't happen all that often, but what's going through your mind? Are you thinking this is a dangerous situation? Or do you kind of, when I was doing weather and we had severe weather come in, I would always kind of lock into a mode where nothing else mattered except for getting that information out. Are you able to lock into a specific mode where you are hyper-focused on the event and making sure that the people are safe around you? Is that how it works as a police officer?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. How do you learn to do that?
Training and repetitive and learning. We have great people that have taught us things along the way. I've had great FTO officers. Some aren't here anymore, but we just learn from them. They teach you, and they'll tell you if you're messing it up, and that's what you got to hear those things sometimes.
Agree.
At the same time, we talk about vigilance, but it also turns into awareness. You know, and even when you're hyper focused on a particular suspect or a particular situation, you still have to keep, you know, everything around you because you're responsible for those things around you. Won't say that it's hard to fight off the idea of tunnel vision. Athletes get it, police officers get it.
Is it bad or good?
Bad.
It's bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bad to focus in too much because then you miss the periphery that might be a danger
And there
somewhere
may be
else.
things going on over here. You're doing this, and some of this
Yeah.
stuff needs to be watched as well.
Absolutely. You know, and you can't watch everything, so
Right.
that's why we deploy to dangerous situations in teams.
Yeah.
So, and you get second officers that have a different perspective, have a different view of what you're doing and what you're not doing, and they're covering those angles and those gaps.
Fascinating. Okay. All right. I think we have time for one more question, and I know it's going to be a good one.
Hi, my name is Justin and I'm 8 years old. How do you arrest someone as a cop?
Oh, that's a good one. Justin, 8 years old. How do you arrest somebody? You see it on TV all the time. You have the right to remain silent. And is that all part of it?
That's all part of
And
it.
that's your Miranda rights, right?
Yes, sir.
And you guys have this committed to memory, exactly, or at least you read it off a card.
Well, it's better to be precise.
Okay, there you go. I think that was an answer there. So how do you arrest someone?
So, well, what we do is we take them into custody, and we can
Yes.
do that through just voice commands sometimes,
Okay.
and sometimes by physical restraint.
Okay.
Meaning that we put them in handcuffs.
Oh.
And if we put them in handcuffs and take them into custody, then we move forward from there.
Okay, maybe we could explain this by I could sort of be the bad guy here.
Well,
And you will arrest me for stealing a chicken. Okay.
Okay.
I'm a chicken thief, and
Like a live
so what?
A live one?
A live chicken.
Okay,
All right. So you just caught me. I got a chicken. Here's my chicken. All right. All right. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. This is my chicken. I am not giving it back.
Gary, put the chicken down.
I'm not gonna put the chicken
Gary, put
down.
the chicken
Can-
down. You're
can I
under
hold your
arrest.
chicken?
No, I'm under arrest. This was my chicken. It looks like me. See? It looks a little bit like me. You're asking me to put the chicken down. I'm not going to do that.
Okay,
I
Gary.
love this chicken.
If you could, just hand it to Corporal Dunn.
Can I hold? I love chickens. I have some at home.
We'll get it back to you.
You
as
will
soon as
give
we
me
know
the
what's going
chicken
on.
back?
As
soon
soon
as
as
we
we figure
know.
everything that's going on, sure.
All right, will you be careful with it?
Absolutely.
Her name's Priscilla.
Pers-
Yes.
I-
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
As
there
long
you
as she's
go.
not gonna- okay. All right. I got her.
So you be careful with Priscilla. All right.
All right,
So, now, am I ready to go?
No, at this time, because I'm investigating a crime, I'm going to give you what we call our Miranda rights. And,
Okay.
and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you, and everybody hears it on TV. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say
Oh.
can and will be held against you
Yes.
in a court of law. And we'll go through that. We'll ensure that you have the right to have an attorney present
Okay.
while questioning, and that you know that you don't have to answer questions without that attorney.
Okay.
Okay. And in this case,
And what are you looking for a response from me? I know what you. I know.
I'm going to ask them two quick questions. I'm going to ask them,
Okay.
do you understand your rights? And we're gonna-
Basically, yeah.
I need a yes or no, Gary. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Okay. So, are you willing to talk to me about the theft of that chicken today?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
At that point, I'm
That's
not going to
private.
question you anymore. I'm going to take you into custody. I'm going to put you
You're
in
going
my.
to arrest me
I'm going to arrest you.
for taking my own chicken?
Well,
Priscilla?
I don't think it was your chicken, Gary.
How can you prove that? Can you prove that Priscilla is not my chicken?
Well, we will do an investigation. We'll talk to all parties. We'll ask the right questions.
Will you ask Priscilla?
We'll find Priscilla, and well, we won't ask Priscilla.
Okay.
But what we'll do is we'll take you into custody, we'll place you in the police car, we'll move you through what we call the court system, and the court will determine whether or not you're guilty. Police officers never determine whether you're guilty.
Okay.
We just move forward toward the court system that gives you your due process and your day in court.
All right. How do you think you're going to get me in the car?
So I told you before, there's a couple ways we can do this.
Right.
What we prefer is just to talk to you to go to the car.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, and in that case, we'd place you in hand restraints, and we would ask you to go ahead and step in the car with a little bit of custody, and mechanical restraints in particular.
Well, you better bring out the restraints because I'm just not into that.
Well, we prefer not to do that today.
Okay.
Would you mind just going to the police car with us?
Would you say please?
I would, please, Gary.
Would you say pretty please?
I probably wouldn't.
All right, I'll do it because you're from Parsons and I love Parsons.
thank
Can I hold Priscilla?
Absolutely, you can have Priscilla back.
Okay.
Just don't-
Thanks for the demonstration.
Thank you. So do most of them go like that?
I would say we have a good relationship with a lot of our citizens, and we have an opportunity to do that. Now, there's some safety issues there. Sometimes we can allow them to just walk to the car. It depends on what they're doing. Sometimes we place them in
With no restraints that
with
you
no
guys-
restraints. We can ask them to
Do
come
you
to the car.
have your weapons out?
No.
Or, no. You everything
No.
is nice and easy.
Our job is to de-escalate most situations.
Okay.
Our job is to get everything down to where two people are having rational
a chicken.
conversations. And well, we don't talk to the chicken, but I get what you're saying. We try and
I've held kids while we were arresting people at the same time. So
Yep.
Held a baby before.
Held
we were
babies.
arrested. It happened.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
so and so we always try and have that rational conversation. And what I always like to say is we show up with dignity and respect, and the individual determines where that goes from there. You know,
That's great.
We don't determine that. Typically, if we show up and everything is rational,
Yeah.
then we can proceed through that kind of means.
And do you both find that that's usually the case?
usually is a tough word.
Yeah, okay.
Is it statistical?
It is occasionally.
Is it statistically probable? No.
Really?
Meaning it's probably less likely, and primarily for our own safety. Because sometimes it's a ruse. So, putting people in mechanical restraints before you search them, before you go into the car, it's just for our own safety. And for their safety as well, because obviously if something escalates while they're in the car, we have to escalate.
Okay.
So it's a preventative measure. Hand restraints are typically a preventative measure from further action.
Do you how often in a week do you use your hand restraints? Average.
As when we're acting as school resource officers, we try really hard not to use those in the
Ever.
schools ever. Yes.
But
we
how
can still-
about a particular police person on the street?
Oh, I would say,
Regularly.
yeah.
Regularly?
Yeah.
Maybe once a week?
And again, it goes
Say
to
once a
safety.
shift, maybe.
Yeah.
Once a shift?
If you
Interesting.
arrest
Doesn't mean
somebody,
they're going to jail. They could just be detained.
Right, just
yes.
to de-escalate.
yeah. Well, and just to control the situation so that everybody's safe.
Sure.
Remember what I said earlier. Anytime that we're interacting with people, our primary thing is our safety and their safety. And if hand restraints or handcuffs, let's talk to the kids. If handcuffs are required, then that's what's required. It's not something we like to do. It's just
Sure.
part of the job to keep everyone safe.
And you guys make that determination right out there on the street.
Yes, and that comes with relationships with the individuals, the number of
Yeah.
times you interacted with the individual, the age of the individual, the totality of the circumstances. I said that earlier, and I think that's true for any of our situations.
Right. Well, this has been absolutely eye-opening. Thank you very much. On behalf of Priscilla, thank you as well for taking care of her.
Thank you.
Really, really appreciate you doing this.
Yes, sir.
Fascinating, and you know what? We've got so many of these great Tell Me Whys right here on 4 States Plus. You ought to check them all out. We thank you and everybody from Parsons.